Greetings, I'm Dr. Jessica Hirschhorn, your professor for OGL 200. And it's time for Times Tuesday. On Friday again, Times Tuesday is when I comment on one of the New York Times articles and give you my thoughts and feelings. I have to admit, when I first saw the articles come out, that I was going to respond to the Sears article and talk about their lack of innovation. However, in light of the horrific shooting this past Saturday in Pittsburgh, I realized it's very important for me to respond to the Rich White Civil War, a smarter look at America's divide article, and that I had a lot to say. In the article, it talks about the exhausted majority. The exhausted majority is the 80% of us in the middle. It talks about how the 80% of us in the middle have no narrative and how the 10% at the two extremes have been dictating American politics. Well, my message to you is that it's time for us in the middle to get our own narrative, and I know just the narrative for us. It's important for us to begin to embrace our core American values, those American values of freedom, including that of religious freedom, and of equality, including that of acceptance of diversity of all types. We, the exhausted majority, need to create our own narrative. It needs to be a narrative of unity and a narrative of inclusion. A number of years ago, on a family reunion trip to Poland, I asked my uncle while visiting Auschwitz how something so horrific could have happened. And what my uncle told me was very interesting. He said, "You know, Jessica, in any given society, 10% of the people will go out of their way to help others. 10% of the people are evil and are the ones causing the harm. But 80% of the middle, those, the exhausted majority, are afraid to speak out, or they don't speak out because they're leading their everyday lives." The problem is, in a situation like the Holocaust, if the 80% doesn't speak out, then they give power to the 10% that are evil. I don't want anything like that to ever happen in our country. I don't necessarily think that it's going to, but I think it is important that we, the exhausted majority, create our own narrative and do begin to speak out. We, the 80%, need to let our voices be heard, and our voices need to have a message of equality, of inclusion. We need to go back to those core American values, the American values of freedom, the American values of equality. Remember our Pledge of Allegiance? One nation, under God, individual, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Don't let the 10% dictate our politics. So whether you're a Democrat or you're a Republican, go out and vote your conscience this Tuesday. All right, have a nice week. Bye.